Hey guys, it's Kelly. The reason I'm doing this video is because God has been really talking to me for the past few weeks. And I felt like I need to do a video or maybe a few videos of my testimony, because I know a lot of times on social media we just scroll past the words and we look at pictures and videos and things like that. And let me just kind of give you a background where I'm at right now. I'm 25, and I don't have a clue what I'm doing with my life. And here lately I've been feeling like I don't have any purpose. And that's sad. That's a sad place to be, to feel like you don't have any purpose. But I do. I don't have a clue exactly what it is, but I have a purpose because God made me. He fearfully and wonderfully made me. And let me just read you this. Psalms 139:16 says, "You saw me before I was born. Every day of my life was recorded in your book. Every moment was laid out before a single day had passed." Whoa. That gives me a little bit of hope. Even though God gives us free will to make our choices, He already knows what choices we will make. So when we mess up, it's okay. It's okay because He's already down the road. He's already fixed whatever it is so that we can continue on His path. Not to say that there won't be consequences for the things we mess up for or about, but we know that He's already been there. He already knows what we're going to choose to do, and He knows the consequences. He knows everything. He has already laid out a way to fulfill His plan in you, if you will just listen to Him and try to follow it. My daughter is she's special needs, but that does not mean that she's not wonderful and smart and bright and so funny. But she can be difficult, very difficult to work with. Sometimes I feel purposeless because, of course, I'm her mom. I'm her authority figure, so she's mad at me most of the time for trying to teach her right, trying to make her behave. So when she gets around other people and she kind of gets her way a little more, I look at them and I look how effortlessly they deal with her. Just, and how effortlessly she just goes with the flow with them. And it makes me feel like a failure a lot of the times, because when I'm dealing with my child, I feel like I should know her better than anyone else. I should know how to get her to a place where she's happy with me. Not to say that I want to be her best friend, because I do want to teach her discipline and, structure. But at the same time, I just look at other people and I think, I just feel like a failure. I know a lot of parents go through that, and a lot of parents can understand that. Having a child who's on the autism spectrum, it's a daily task. I love Kaylee, and I know that she loves me, but she doesn't always show me that. But she's very affectionate, don't get me wrong. She's very affectionate, very loving, but she knows how to push my buttons. She's also just like any other normal child in that she knows how to push people's buttons and try to get her way, and when I don't let her do that, she gets mad. And since she's not a typical child, since she is on the autism spectrum, she has meltdowns. Her body is in a flight or fight mode, and all she wants to do is fight. Either escape the situation or fight. And most of the time, I get the fight from her. The not want to come down out of that what typical moms would call a temper tantrum. Yes, it is some of that. She's a typical child that, is going to try to get her way, but she's also got something else going on. She has sensory issues, and so it's harder and takes longer for her to come out of that mode. Even if it makes sense to her, even if in her mind she's perfectly okay with what we're about to do, something in her body tells her, I need to fight this. I can't deal with this. I'm too anxious. I need to fight this. So it's a difficult thing to deal with, especially on a 24-hour basis. A lot of people that deal with Kaylee, they only see her for a few hours or, a very short period of time. But when you have a child like that you are responsible for caring for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it is so tiring. And sometimes you just need to be refreshed and be reminded that you do have a purpose and that you're not a failure. And that God has entrusted you with caring for this child. And I'm so thankful that God did give her to me. Just a little backstory. When I was 15, I found out that I have PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. It causes a woman to have irregular periods and cysts on her ovaries. When I was 16, I was at youth camp and I had a huge cyst rupture on my ovary. And so I have a lot of scar tissue, and I was told that it would be very difficult for me to have a child, if ever, which of course was devastating. But I knew at the time that God had a plan, and that I would either have a child or I wouldn't, and that I would be okay and God would take care of me. And when I found out that I was pregnant with Kaylee, I was so overjoyed. It was a miracle, of course. But I never expected her to have something wrong with her. And in my eyes, I don't see it as something is wrong with her. It's just something that that she has, and it's something that I've got to learn to love about her, and I do, because it makes her have so many other qualities that I'm not sure she would have if she weren't on the autism spectrum. And the way that she looks at life is just so beautiful. Excuse me, the way that she sees things and hears things and little details, and it's just beautiful. So, having her is a miracle, and I'm thankful for that. Sometimes, especially when you only have one child, and she does have something going on with her, and you don't have another child around to remind you that this isn't the only normal way of life for mothers out there, because a lot of mothers have children that just do what they are told, and they enjoy the child, and it's just easy. I mean, it's never easy altogether, but it's just so much easier. So when you have a difficult child, I guess what I'm trying to say is that sometimes you can become overwhelmed and lose sight of the joy that they actually are. And that's what God has showed me over the past few weeks, especially working in Vacation Bible School. I didn't have Kaylee in my group. I requested it that way, not because I don't enjoy Kaylee or didn't want her in my group, but because I knew that I had work that God needed me to do, and I didn't want to be distracted by Kaylee and constantly having to redirect her. And God really just reminded me how much I love kids, how much I enjoy them, and how much I wanted to work with kids from the start. And I guess what I'm trying to say is it's easy to lose sight of that when you're in a constant battle with your own child. And God really just refreshed me and helped me to remember that my child is a blessing and a miracle, and I do love her. and he helped me to see things that I can do every day to just enjoy her a little more. And I got to see her with another leader who was taking care of her in VBS, and they had a lot of trouble with her. And I'm not happy that they had trouble with her, but it encouraged me that I'm not the only one that has trouble with her, and that I'm not a failure, and that I'm just learning to figure her out. She's 7 years old, and I still have not figured her out. And she has such a loving and giving heart, and she loves Jesus. When she asked Jesus into her heart, I was just overjoyed. And if people can just see past all the meltdowns and things that go on with her, and really just sit down and get to know her, they would just know how loving and caring she really is. And I might have kind of got off topic a little bit here, but the purpose for me doing this video is to say that you do have a purpose, even if you feel like you're failing, or you feel like you're kind of stuck in the middle of not knowing what you're doing. Wherever God has put you, remember that in Psalms it says that He already knows what's going to happen. He already, everything about you, when He formed you in your mother's womb, He knew you. He knew every hair on your head. He knows what's coming, and He knows what's past, and He will take care of you. And if you just take a moment to sit back and let Him refresh you, then you can find purpose in anything that you do. Everything that you do has a purpose. Everything that comes to you has a purpose. So that was just kind of some of my story that I wanted to share with y'all. I hope you liked the video and share it to inspire others, and look forward to more videos of testimony coming.